transferred to Clemson from Dayton. Batted .309 with 6 home runs, 62 RBIs, and 30 steals from 2019 to 2021. First pitch of the day from Temple will be marked as a ball.
It'll be really important here. We saw in Temple's last start, had 3 walks in that first inning. Only got 1 out. It's had to be replaced. Going to be important to be in the strike zone. Let this defense work behind him.
He is 2-0 in the season as Blackwell hits a deep shot into left field, which bounces over the back wall and will be ruled a double. So right off the bat for the Tigers, a big double from Blackwell.
See here, ball just kind of middle. Really good swing by Blackwell. Drove the ball into the gap. Out past Cole in left field, but if you're Clemson, exactly what you're looking for there. Had a rough start to the game yesterday as well, but that's just what you need. Now if you're Engel coming up here in Clemson, going to be really important to try to find a way to get this runner in. Really struggled with that in yesterday's game.
Some momentum from the Tigers as Cooper Engel is up to bat. First pitch of the at-bat from Temple will be a ball. Here comes the second pitch. Right down the middle for a strike.
See, there's some arm side run from Temple on the mound. Got a really good curveball. Got a reset here. Runner at second base, 1-1 count. Really good from Clemson here, putting the pitcher in the stretch to start the game.
Even at ones, as Austin Temple takes the advantage as we have a 1-2 count. Temple, transferred from Jacksonville, was the preseason All-A-Sun team last year in 2021. 1-2 count. Right down the middle for strike 3, and Notre Dame has the first out of the inning.
Really good pitch there from Temple. We talked about his 12-6 curveball coming into this. Really poor swing here from Engel. Did not see it very well, but ball just falls off the table there. Kind of a protection hack there at the plate, but a really good pitch and bounce back there from Temple. Exactly what you're looking for on the mound.
Now to bat for the Tigers is number 8, Blake Wright. He gets a slow roller into Preisner.
Really good bounce back here from Temple. Big spot here, another curveball. I think we're going to see him live with that one a lot today. Really difficult pitch to hit. We got a ground ball to Preisner, who comes up, makes the play, and recovered from that leadoff double here. Got one more here to go.
Moving on to Max Wagner at the at-bat for the Tigers. First pitch a little low. Max Wagner, sophomore out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, traveling a far way over to South Carolina. 1-0 pitch out wide.
Got a base to work with here, but want to get back in the strike zone. As we talked about, some walks have haunted Temple a little bit. Big opportunity here.
Temple throws it to second as Benjamin Blackwell returns safely to second. The 2-0 hit by Wagner into the right field line will be no good. Coetzee diving far past the first base line to make the grab.
Good effort there and right by Coetzee. Trying to steal and out there on the foul pop fly there, but unable to get there. Now back into a 2-1 count. If you're Temple, got to get right back in the strike zone, recovered from that 2-0 count. look for another breaking ball here.
A quick 2 outs for Temple since the opening double. 2-1 pitch right down the middle. Evens the count at 2s.
There's that curveball again. A really strong pitch, and Clemson will have some difficulties with that. Got to really sit on it and drive that ball.
Looking to bring up the batters for the Irish is Temple with strike 3 of the at-bat. Looking to make something work. On the first pitch is a quick grounder over to shortstop and a quick out for the first out of the inning.
Ground ball there by Myers. Hit a little hard. We saw in the first inning yesterday, hit kind of a soft shot between the first baseman and second baseman, was able to beat it out, but tough job there. Good start there for the mound for Hoffman for Clemson. Exactly what you want to do, talking about getting these leadoff runners out for Notre Dame. 1
pitch, 1 out, exactly what Hoffman wanted. Now up to bat for the Irish is Jack Brannigan, the third baseman. First pitch, ruled a strike. Quick 0-1 count for Hoffman. And now Jack Brannigan up to bat, got his 4th home run of the season against Butler on Tuesday. Hits a deep ball into left field. Outfielders chasing, and that will be caught at the warning track by Dylan Brewer.
See there, really good swing by Brannigan. We talked about yesterday, weather playing a little more true than what it's used to here at South Bend this weekend. We've seen earlier in the season this ball might be able to jump out of here, but wind blowing in, gets out deep into the gap, and really good track out there in center by Brewer to bring that one in.
Brannigan making solid contact on that, and as we saw yesterday, wind in this brutal South Bend weather having an impact. Miller up to bat for the Irish. Had a solid defensive performance yesterday against the Tigers. Dodging a pitch there. Makes the count 1-1.
Miller, a really unique player here for Notre Dame, can play a lot of different positions, has played all across the infield in his career here. Has a really good approach at the plate, you'll see. Can lay down a bunt, can really drive the ball to all fields. Really strong all-around hitter.
Fouled off the third pitch of the at-bat. Awarded a team captain position this year. Hoffman evens the count at 2. Hit by Miller into the short field, but a quick third out. So after one inning of play, Notre Dame is tied with Clemson at 0. Here is Coach Link Jarrett of the Notre Dame baseball team. And Colin, what do you like most about Link Jarrett?
Really has kind of reset the standard here with Notre Dame baseball. Just resetting what it means to be a player here, the kind of demands and the success that he's had in his now 3rd season. So impressive, already capturing an ACC championship. Been named D1 Baseball Coach of the Year. I think just the expectations and the way that he practices has really pushed this Notre Dame baseball program to the next level.
He led Notre Dame to their first postseason since 2015, really transforming how the Notre Dame baseball team is viewed. Corbett's shot, fly ball, is caught by Miller for the first out on 1 pitch.
Just what you're looking for if you're Temple. To see pop fly out to Miller at second base. You want to work early. We saw Bertrand have so much success early in the count yesterday, just getting some weak contact.
Aiden Grice up to bat for the Tigers. Takes a ball.
If you're Clemson, that's really not a pitch you want to hit early in the count. Kind of let that one go. You see you got a ball there, but even a take on that situation isn't the worst thing in the world. Hitting that curveball early in the count, wait for a fastball, try to get it a looking for fastballs to drive.
Caden Grice is viewed as the top power hitter and run producer in the Clemson program. Trying to get a big hit early on in the second inning. Takes a ball there, makes the count 3-1 early on.
See here, just a little reset from Temple. Got to take your breath, get right back in there. Walks can hurt you as a pitcher.
Temple sends it close to Grice, who will walk over to first base.
Talk about the pressure that a walk can put on your defense. I see Temple back to the stretch here, going to be looking for a ground ball, but as a pitching staff, walks apply pressure to your defense and to your staff and to yourself. So really important here now, looking for a ground ball, got to get right back in the strike zone.
With Grice on first, Briar Hawkins will be at bat. Takes a strike.
Seeing those Clemson hitters again, taking that early breaking ball, not the one you want to hit, kind of looking for that fastball to drive.
Temple in the second pitch, sends it right down the middle, has Hawkins swinging.
A bit of a different pitch there. Looks like maybe a slider from Temple, really good. Got really good control of his breaking pitches.
Here comes the 0-2.
Another slider on the outside part of the plate. Really good pitch there from Temple. You'll see here, Neurice setting up on the outside corner. The ball starts out and ends up down. Went through there at the plate. A really good pitch there from Temple. As we said, that breaking ball control he's got. Really good to start this game.
Just outside. And French is hit by the pitch, moving Grice over to second.
See here, this one just backed up on him a little bit, got away from him. Barely clipped him there on the elbow, but Pigs get back and have some more success.
Ball drops into the strike zone for the second strike of the at-bat. Dylan Brewer, a .215 career hitter. Down early 0-2 against Austin Temple. The pitch moves out right, fouls off.
Really good pitch there from Temple. Has really strong control of that breaking ball. He's got a slider and a curveball that are working really well for him right now.
Temple looking to retire Brewer. Doesn't get it on that pitch.
Ball ran a little bit too much arm side there. Outside part of the plate. Got to get that one a little more down the middle, right over the plate, but good 0-2 pitch there for Temple.
'30th pitch is a strikeout. So Austin Temple gets his 4th strikeout of the day and gets Clemson down early.
Really strong breaking ball here down the middle. You see, froze him. Good pitch there. Another strikeout for Temple.
You are looking at Clemson coach Monty Lee, and in their season, Clemson has had a little bit of a struggle in conference play. And Colin, what do you know? Like, what does this graphic tell you?
Yep, started the season I think 14-0. Now some back and forth here. Really struggled in the ACC to kind of find their footing. But then you go and see 4-0 against the SEC, sweeping South Carolina and beat Georgia. So just really up and down for this Clemson team. Really trying to find where their success is going to be and find some consistency within the ACC.
They have the opportunity to beat an ACC opponent here today and this weekend against Notre Dame. Up now for the Irish is Carter Putz, team captain this year. Goes down early, 0-2.
See Putz really strong on the year, one of Notre Dame's best hitters. Leads the team in batting average and hits, and you'll see just his simplicity at the plate. Not a lot of movement, just gets his barrel to the ball, has the ability to drive the ball to all fields. One of the best hitters in this lineup.
If you look at any hitting statistic, Carter Putz is almost guaranteed to be either first or second on the team, showing how well he can swing. Quick dribbler out to first. And Hawkins will just walk to the bag.
Putz trying to take that ball the other way. Didn't get a strong piece of it. Play over at first by Hawkins. Got another quick out here to start the bottom of the second here for Clemson.
Ryan Cole quickly follows Putz. Preseason All-ACC. Swing and a miss on the first pitch. Averaging .321.
Good pitch there from Hoffman on the inside part of the plate. Didn't get the call, but if the pitcher just got to keep working that spot. If you can show you can consistently hit that, be in and around the strike zone, might be able to.
Gives them the 1-2 advantage. Ryan Cole, third on the team with batting average. Has started all 23 games this season. Hoffman's pitch, too far out, makes the count 2-2.
Cole, another one in this lineup, has the ability to go to all fields. Really patient at the plate, not going to chase a ton. Has some surprise pop and power in his bat as well.
Try to bring out the pop on that one. Will not work. It's a strikeout.
Going to see here a really good pitch here on the mound. Change up. Middle of the plate. Does a good job of pushing and pulling there. Keeping Cole off balance, but a really good pitch there by Hoffman.
Hoffman gets his first strikeout of the day with that pitch. Now is Jouer at bat. Fouls off the first off pitch. Nick Jouer now from Farmington, Minnesota. Has traveled honestly all around the country in his college baseball career. Starting off at TCU, then going off to Iowa Western Junior College, then eventually ending up at Notre Dame.
Jouer getting more of an opportunity here this week. He's looked really good in the lineup.
Hit deep into right field. And that thing is gone. Nick Jouer on the first pitch of the at-bat gets a home run in the Irish strike first.
Really good swing there by Jouer. Pulling that ball to right field and got around on it, and the ball just continued to carry out. We've seen balls hitting the left center gap here kind of die the last 2 days, but what a swing there by Jouer, really getting his barrel around, ball up and inside. He just lifted that ball out of here, but all around a great swing you see there. Has to really get that barrel out in front of the ball and pull it down there. Out and right, Grice just makes his way down the line, but unable to get it. The ball gets over the wall.
Grice thought he could have some luck with the wind, maybe carrying it into play, but Jouer is too strong for the Clemson defense.
That's one thing about this park here in South Bend. Wind's usually blowing from left field to right field. If you can get a left-handed hitter that can pull that ball out there, it might get a little help, unlike in that left center gap. But really good swing by Jouer, getting his barrel around that ball up and inside, pulling the ball out of here.
Brooke Coatsy now going against Hoffman. Strong contact, but fouls it off.
Talked about with Clemson in the open, being more patient, using the full field. And same goes here for Notre Dame. You see a left-handed hitter able to pull the ball out of here, but the right-handed hitter's got to use that full field. Ball's going to die if you lift it too high out into left field, left center. So really work the full field, drive the ball, hit the ball where it's pitched.
That was Nick Jouer's first home run of the season. Now as Coatsy receives a full count. Swing and a miss for the second strikeout of the day for Nick Hoffman. Irish strike first at the hands of Nick Jouer, 1-0. Welcome back to Frank Eck Stadium, and on the mound for the Irish is Austin Temple, who's had a big couple innings so far, 4 strikeouts. And Colin, what do you like most out of Temple today?
Got 2 really strong breaking balls going so far. Got the 12-6 curveball and then a slider too that's looked really strong. The ability to control that pitch and put it where he wants. Temple has had a really strong start to this game. Got to find a little more fastball control, but just what you're looking for if you're Notre Dame.
Showing a variety of pitches today is Temple. Gets the early 0-1 against Benjamin Blackwell. Had a ground rule double the first at-bat of the game. Second pitch from Temple is a strike. Third pitch, out wide. Here's the 1-2 from Temple. Evens the count of 2.
See there, back-to-back sliders on the outside part of the plate. Unable to get a chase. Really good pitch there. Unable to get the call, the inside part of the plate.
Full count for Blackwell. Temple gets him swinging and retires Blackwell for the first strikeout of the inning.
Another strikeout there for Temple, and that at bat was all breaking balls. We saw the slider on the outside part of the plate, and you see it come back with a curveball there. Really good pitch from Temple. You'll see. Neary sets up on the outside part of the plate. That breaking ball looks like it's going to fall right over the center of the plate and then strikes out.
Cooper Engel now. It's a high fly ball into Preisner. Routine catch for him.
Quick out after that. Extended a bat to start the inning, and Temple just rolling along. You've seen these Notre Dame pitchers now the last 2 days looking really strong. Temple building off the momentum from John Michael Bertrand yesterday. Really got the breaking ball moving today.
Bertrand had a career game yesterday. Pitched through all 9 innings. It was his second straight start with no earned runs. So Temple trying to carry some momentum onto the mound today. As he makes the count 1-1 against Wright. Here's the 1-1. Hit by Wright, deep into right field, but Coatsy tracks it all the way through for a quick 3 outs. Notre Dame stays up 1-0. there is pitcher Nick Hoffman for the Tigers. Was traditionally a long reliever as a freshman, but has since transferred into the starting lineup. And Colin, what have you seen out of Nick Hoffman today?
Good start here today. Just the one mistake on the Jaware home run, but really strong pitching duel again here in South Bend. Been really impressed with both pitching staffs so far for Notre Dame and Clemson. But Hoffman just got to continue his success, what he's done, keeping the ball down, letting the defense work behind him. Got a good mix of pitches.
Other than the Jaware homer, not a terrible day for Nick Hoffman. Up now for the Irish is Danny Neary. Takes the first pitch as a ball. Danny Neary, 233 in the year, 31 at-bats. As he gets a solid piece of hitting into left field. Waved off from second and will remain at first.
Good swing here by Neary. Using the full field, we talked about it, the importance of that from both teams today with the weather. Neary sees a ball middle away and just drives the ball into the left center field. A good at bat. Young hitters got to be able to do that. Got to be able to use all the field, and see that ball away and just drive it the other way. Great job by Neary to start the inning. Got a runner on first.
Really drove it to opposite field on the second pitch of the at-bat. Hoffman trying to take some weight off his shoulders.
Here's where we see the Notre Dame offense kind of get rolling how they want to. Get that leadoff runner on. Now Preisner up. The opportunity for a bunt, opportunity for hit and run. Lots of different things that could come from Lincoln Jarrett's offense here.
Trying to pick off Neary at first.
Because of Notre Dame's aggressiveness on the base pass, it immediately puts pressure on a pitching staff and Hoffman on the mound. Now you have to account for the run over there, you got to account for a hit and run, lots of different things that could happen in this situation.
Preisner makes the count 1-1. Has started all 23 games this season. Hoffman tries to pick off Neary at first again, doesn't get it. Preisner, bouncer to third, tries to zip it over to first, and Hawkins brings it down for the first out of the inning.
Good job there. Move the runner over by Preisner. Hit a bit of a chopper. Now Notre Dame a runner in scoring position with just one out. Got to find a way to drive this runner in. Myers had a much better day yesterday than he's had throughout the season. Got to continue that success here and find a way to drive a ball into the gap.
Neary at second for the Irish. Spencer Myers at bat. He tied first in hits on the team last season. A solid piece of contact here would bring Neary either home or to third base. The 1-0 pitch from Hoffman hits Spencer Myers, who will advance to first. Gets back up very quickly.
Tough pitch there. Myers turns to bunt, gets it back and hits him right in the thigh. For a speedster like Myers, that one hurts, and gonna have to take a second here to recover on first.
That type of contact is the worst, where it just skins your thigh, leaves a mark. So now Jack Brannigan has Neary on second and now Myers on first. Hoffman trying to get Neary at second like he did when he was at first.
Young pitchers here, runner at second base. The key here is just to stop his feet and then make the pitch. Can't worry too much about him back there.
Jack Brannigan leads the team in at-bats and has 22 hits on the year in 84 at-bats. Takes the first strike there. Currently leads the team in doubles with 8, which would bring Nerai home. The 1-1. Makes it 2-1. Brannigan having some plate in the discipline.
There now you're looking for your pitch, trying to drive something to the outfield.
Hoffman trying to recover. And Brannigan gets a solid piece of hitting into the gap as Nerai will be waved at third. But Jack Brannigan getting it through into the outfield to make the bases loaded.
Again, another good job going the other way. Brannigan, really strong swing there. The runners had to freeze on that. An opportunity to catch the ball at second base there by Wright. Ball gets through. All the runners move up one base. Now you got bases loaded opportunity. Your 3-hole Jared Miller coming to the plate. But a really good swing there by Brannigan. Has one of the smoothest swings in this lineup.
That makes it bases loaded for Jared Miller, shortstop. Averaging about 260 on the year. First pitch, just outside. And Miller hits a high fly ball into left field. And Engel can easily recover. Nerai will not go to home.
Good job in the left out there by Engel, making a strong throw in. Rich Wallace at third base having to hold Nerai, not the most speed on third. Good throw, probably would have had him out there at home. So now Notre Dame, 2 outs, bases loaded. Really important to try to get another run in here and try to extend this lead. Have your best hitter coming to the plate with Carter Putz.
Carter Putz, someone we talked about earlier as a stat leader almost. Great hitter for the Irish. First pitch goes to Hoffman. Hits it solidly into the outfield as Nerai comes home, and so will Myers. Carter Putz has a great hit, makes it 3-0 Irish.
Strong swing here by Putz, just drives the ball up the middle past the shortstop. See here, just so simple and compact at the plate. Drives the ball right back up the middle. Blackwell at short, unable to pull it in, and you got Myers rounding the base there at third, able to get a...
Jack Brannigan on third for the Irish. Putz at first. 1-0 count for Cole. Tries to get Putz at first once again. Does not get him. 1-0 pitch makes it 2-0. Advantage Cole. And it seems that for Hoffman, the runners are still in his mind, even while he's trying to face these batters.
Got to bounce back right here if you're Hoffman. Take your deep breath. You gave up 2 runs. Don't let it compound into something else. But, again, Notre Dame, it's the pressure that they can cause by having runners on base, and Link Jarrett's decision to be so aggressive on the base pass can lead to some mistakes, but ultimately his
3-0 count now for Cole. Here's the 3-0. Right down the middle for make the count 3-1. A hit here would bring Myers home. Excuse me. Bring Brannigan home. And just like that, Ryan Cole takes the walk from Hoffman. Now making it bases loaded for Nick Jaware, who had the home run just now.
Last at bat there, Jaware, just a great swing. Got a ball high and inside, drove the ball out to right field. Really good swing. The wind blowing.
First pitch of his afternoon is a ball. For the Irish, on base is Ryan Cole at first, Carter Putz at second, and Jack Brannigan at third. The 1-0.
Good pitch there, got the outside part of the plate. As we said, with the weather and how everything's here, probably not wanting to work on the inside of Jaware, showing the ability to get his barrel through the zone and pull a ball out to right.
Chuck can't quite get the strike there, makes it 2-1.
Really good job by French there behind the plate. Made that pitch look really good. Unable to get the strike call.
Jaware fouls off the pitch. Fourth of the at-bat.
Two count here. Got 2 strikes on you. Got to really work if you're at the plate. Looking for your pitch, but fighting off anything else. Big situation here for Jaware.
Here comes the 2-2. Extends the battle.
Notre Dame unable to get into the Clemson bullpen until late in the game yesterday, so good job here now in the third inning. Able to get into the Tiger bullpen. Got to keep working and trying to extend counts.
Jaware takes the ball. Making it a full count now.
Full count, runners will be moving here. Got to throw the ball across the infield, but big situation here. Don't want to walk or run in.
Seventh pitch of the at-bat. Jaware, dribbler into short, and will be picked off at first for the 3rd out of the inning. So Notre Dame, after a strong third inning, is up 3-0. There is John Michael Bertrand, who had a great game last night against Clemson. And Colin, what did you think of last night's performance?
Just such a strong performance by the 6th-year senior. See 8 1/3 there. Almost got the complete game. Had 8 strikeouts. Really kept this lineup for Clemson completely off balance. Last week's ACC Pitcher of the Week has an opportunity again this week to possibly win that award. But the 6th-year senior, just a dominant performance, really figuring out the art of pitching, pushing and pulling, keeping hitters off balance. Not going to overpower anyone, but just an all-around special performance again by Bertrand yesterday.
He's the 4th player in Notre Dame history to be awarded with the Golden Spikes midseason watch list, and keeps his strong season going last night as Temple faces against Wagner.
For Temple, just want to continue the success you've had. Your breaking balls, your curveball, and your slider have both looked really strong throughout the game, and try to find some of that fastball as well.
5 strikeouts on the afternoon. Pitch is fouled off by Wagner. Keeps the count at 2-2.
It's 2 in a row. We've seen kind of back up on Temple there a little bit. Better there.
Full count now for Wagner. Full count pitch. Fouled off. Looked like it was heading over to Brannigan.
Big spot here, 3-2. We'll see if he goes back to a breaking ball. Talked about the pressure that Temple's had on him today has been from a hit by pitch and a walk, so.
Temple gets the strikeout against Wagner. Clemson fans are not happy with the call, making it 6 strikeouts on the afternoon.
Let's see here. Fastball outside part of the plate. We talked about Temple hasn't gone to that much today. Extended the plate a little bit there. Got a favorable call. And Monty Lee really unhappy in the Clemson dugout after that call. But pitcher being in and around the strike zone, that's what it can award you there. If you can work in the strike zone, show you can throw strikes, that zone can start to expand a little bit, and Temple got some help there.
Deep shot into right field is tracked down by Coetzee. Corbett tried to make something work at the at-bat, doesn't get anything. So a quick 2 outs.
On that pitch right there, that drive to right field, kind of be a factor based off of the last strikeout pitch there. Got called for a strike, so these Clemson hitters looking to having to expand the zone a little bit to not get a strike called, but trying to drive the ball the other way, and Temple working quick here again.
Grice fouls off on the first pitch. He was walked in his first at-bat.
I think what we've seen the last 2 days, this Clemson lineup starting 6 sophomores in it. Has some progress to make with just some patience at the plate when you're facing 2 unique guys. First in Bertrand, who does a really good job of mixing speeds. Now you face someone with a specialty like Temple, who's throwing almost exclusively breaking balls. It can be a challenge to a younger team who might not have that patience at the plate or the ability to use the full field yet. A really big learning opportunity for Clemson.
Two now for Temple. Trying to retire Grice, who hits it deep into right field. We'll get a single.
See here, this is going to be the best swing we've seen on a Temple curveball so far today. Gets that foot down and waits on it. Really strong swing, beats the shift there. You see Notre Dame has 2 players on the right side of the infield, but a really good job there by Grice. Got to get your foot down, be patient with that pitch, and then drive it to the right field. One of the better swings we've seen against Temple so far today.
Nothing much that Notre Dame's infield could do on that hit. Now allows Briar Hawkins trying to make something work. strike for Temple. Makes the count 0-2. The 0-2 goes high.
See here, Temple possibly could go back to that slider. Looking away here. See him wipe there to a different pitch.
Let's see what he has for the 1-2. Fouled off by Hawkins. Grice on first for the Tigers. Hawkins stays in the battle at 1-2, fouling off a pair of pitches. Count now even at 2s. Hawkins staying alive versus Temple. Striking him out and retiring Hawkins is Austin Temple for Nick Hoffman. Didn't get off to the start that he wanted. First pitch goes for Coetzee. Makes the count 1-0. Right down the middle for Olenchuk. And as you can see there, Coetzee is quite the hitter for the Irish. Last season he had 29 RBIs, already at 21 this season. As now the count is 3-1. Olenchuk here. Coetzee hits it to right field, but will go off foul, making the count full.
Big spot here for Clemson. Talked about the success from Notre Dame has come from having that leadoff runner on. Got to really focus and try to get Coetzee out here.
Coetzee hits it into center field, but Brewer will track it down for the first out of the 4th inning for the Tigers.
Good swing there by Coetzee, driving that ball to center field, but Olenchuk, good job, get that leadoff runner out here. Talked about slowing down this Notre Dame offense. You get that leadoff runner out, really kind of displaces what they're trying to do and the pressure that they're trying to cause.
Here's Neary now. Dribbler over to the shortstop, who fumbles it right by second base, and Neary advances to first.
Able to make the play here. You'll see Neary with kind of just a short hopper there. Looked like his cleat might have got stuck in the turf there a little bit. His footwork kind of got off balance there.
Not the chance that Blake Wright, the shortstop, wanted. Here's Preisner now at bat. Oh, and 1 on the afternoon. Second pitch, hit by Preisner deep into left field and will be caught right by the warning track by Engel. Looked like a very solid piece of hitting for Preisner, but ultimately ended up short.
Another example here, the wind in left field, what it does. Preisner got a great piece of that one. It looked like it might go. That wind blowing from left to right here just kills balls out in left center there. Ball dies right before the warning track. Another example here, just the wind causing a graveyard out in left field here at Frank Eck Stadium. And Preisner unable to get the ball out of here.
We've seen that a couple times today, and especially into yesterday.
So you're a pitcher, you got to love that, take advantage of that, understand, and kind of pitch to that as well. Saw the benefits of Nick Juer hitting the ball to right field earlier, ball able to carry out of here, but balls hit to left field, just struggle to get out of the ballpark here.
Spencer Myers now at bat, down 0-2. He was hit by a pitch in his first at bat. Olenchuk trying to pick off Neary at first. Clemson defense trying to make the most of the situation with an 0-2 count, 2 outs left. One, two now.
See here this pitch. Runs just off the plate there. But here Clemson being a little upset with that one, thinking Temple had got some of those calls for Notre Dame, but close pitch.
Neary safely slides into first. The 1-2 hit by Myers into right field. Grice just backs up on it, and that will advance Neary to second.
Good piece of hitting here by Spencer Myers, getting back on track. Had a tough day, or tough season so far leading up to yesterday. Had a really good day at the plate. And this is another example here today. Getting his barrel through the zone, pulling that ball to right field. Now Notre Dame got 2 runners on with 2 outs.
Olenchuk thought he had the Irish where he wanted them. 2 outs, 2 strikes. But Meyer extends the inning, allowing Brannigan to try to make a scoring opportunity here. As the first pitch is a ball. Brannigan had a single earlier this game. As Neary is on second, Myers is at first. Strike there for Olenchuk. Time called. The 1-1 from Olenchuk. Close there to Brannigan. It's a 2-1. Hit by Brannigan deep into left field. Will be tracked down by Engel for the 3rd out of the inning. So Notre Dame, 3 outs. Clemson will hit now. They're up 3-0 against Clemson, and in large part because of Austin Temple's breaking ball.
Temple looked really good so far today. You've seen here, breaking ball, slider there. Had his curveball and slider working very well. these Clemson hitters have unable to kind of get on track with that one, and then you see a fastball there. That slider and curveball have looked really strong for him throughout this game. Has led to the success he's had. These Clemson hitters got to find a way to get their foot down. We saw last inning with Grice be able to get his foot down, wait back on that ball, and get a good swing. Going to be really important for them to find some more chances here with 7 strikeouts already through 4 innings.
Jonathan French will try to slow down Temple's dominance. French, the catcher, was drafted in the 30th round by the Cleveland Guardians before he came to Clemson. Now up 2-0 against Temple as we enter the top of the 5th inning. French hits it to Preisner, who zips it over to Putz for the first out, quickly putting away French.
Good start to the inning here again. Fell a little bit behind in the count. We got another ground ball. This Notre Dame defense continues to impress, and their ability and range. Preisner at shortstop making a good play to his left there and throwing the runner out there. But a good start for Temple. Just continuing that success. This Notre Dame pitching staff has been so impressive this weekend so far.
Brewer now fouls off the first pitch. Oh for 1 in the afternoon. Batting about 204. Has a couple of outs on defense this afternoon. Has Temple up a quick 0-2. The 0-2 strikes out Brewer, who will eventually be out at first base.
See there, another great pitching performance here from Temple. 12-6 curveball. Brewer wasn't really sure if he wanted to go around on that one or not, and another strikeout there for Temple. Part of this can kind of play into the plan that a hitter has at the plate. Got to have a plan for a guy going to come in with consistent breaking balls, and Clemson just looks off balance in the batter's box.
Clemson returns to the top of their lineup with Benjamin Blackwell. 1 for 2 on the day. Had the ground rule double to start off the afternoon. Clemson ultimately not able to take advantage of the early double. The 2-1 from Temple. Catches Blackwell swinging. Makes it 2-2.
It's been interesting. Blackwell's been one of the only batters that Temple's really attacked with fastballs today. See what he goes with here, getting that 2-strike count.
Catches Blackwell looking. Austin Temple continues his hot streak as we enter the bottom of the 5th. There is Monty Lee in his 7th season as the head coach of the Clemson Tigers, but hasn't had the evening that he's honestly wanted.
Seen some frustration out of coach here, and if you go to this last strikeout, it's understandable. You'll see here, curveball outside part of the plate. Temple gets the call. The ball never really found a part of the strike zone there. You can understand some of the frustration, but the Notre Dame pitching staff just done a great job of keeping this Clemson lineup off balance, but a little help there from the umpire, and you can understand where some of the frustrations might be boiling over here for Clemson.
Olenchuk faces against Miller. Jared Miller, a team captain this year. It's the 1-0 pitch. Now up 2-0. Now 3-0 for Miller.
Big spot here. We talked about Notre Dame's offense really functions with the leadoff runner.
Miller could get the Irish off to a quick start in the bottom of the 5th. Now 3-1. And Miller will trot over to first. Excuse me. Now a full count for Miller. Fouled off in the full count. The full count pitch. Fouled off again as Miller extends this battle. That was the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Now 9 pitches for this at-bat for Jared Miller.
Chuck doing a good job just continuing to battle. You can see why he's one of the top relievers here for this Clemson team. 21 strikeouts on the year, only 5 walks, doing a really good job just filling up the strike zone. Big battle here, though. Don't want to have a leadoff walk.
And he will do just that. And Miller will walk over to first. Is now a leadoff walk in the bottom of the 5th for the Irish.
So again, this sets up Notre Dame's offense to do what they want. Their best hitter coming to the plate, and you've got an aggressive base runner in Jared Miller. Doesn't have the best speed, but can cause some issues on the base paths. So now Notre Dame's offense gets into an opportunity with putts now too. Having the bat control that he does, the ability to push the ball to the right side of the field, gives them a big advantage here.
Putts with 2 RBIs on the afternoon. Trying to, as there are no outs for Olenchuk. And racing over to second is Miller, who will be called out. As a strong heave from Jonathan French catches Miller in his tracks.
See here, good throw down. Puts it right on the bag. Bang, bang there. Might have had an opportunity to look at that. Here in the stadium link, Jared asked Jared Miller if he thought he was out. But tag put on the shoulder there before the hand slid into the base. Now Notre Dame's got an out.
Puts right up the middle, past the infield for a single.
Second time today we've seen Carter Putz go right back up the middle. Such a solid swing there. Again, we've harped on it all weekend, but just his simplicity at the plate and ability to drive the ball back up the middle. One of the best hitters in college baseball.
Made that last hit look so easy as it slides right past the second base. Ryan Cole up now. French will go over to the mound. As Notre Dame has a runner on first. And Ryan Cole up to home plate. Jonathan French, the catcher this year, is the number 19th college prospect for the 2022 MLB draft. As Ryan Cole faces Olenchuk with a 1-1 count. Olenchuk now trying to get putts at first. Keeps it at 1-1 for Cole.
You can see here French on his wrist, and on the mound Olenchuk has it on his as well. Looking at the new pitch calling techniques here in college baseball and in professional baseball, getting that call in from the dugout, trying to protect against sign stealing and trying to progress the game a little quicker. What? Something new in baseball, going to have to adapt to it. It's an interesting choice. It'd be interesting to see how it affects rhythm and different types of things there as a pitcher.
Ryan Cole, high fly ball by the on-deck circle. That will go into the crowd and is snagged in by a fan in the second row.
See there, ball tipped and a great catch in the stands. It's awesome to see the crowd full here in South Bend, even on a tough weather day, out cheering Notre Dame on.
All smiles in that section. As now Ryan Cole continues his at-bat. Count is 2-2. Olenchuk here. Irish only one out in this inning with putts on first. Cole, a deep shot into center field, will be tracked down by Brewer for the second out.
Third or fourth time we've seen here from Notre Dame driving a ball in the left center gap. Cole got another really good piece of that pitch there, and the wind just killing the ball today. Kind of a graveyard out there in left field, left center and center field. Comes down there for Brewer. Now Notre Dame 2 outs, runner at first.
Sounded good off the bat of Cole. Ultimately ending in the hands of Brewer. Now up to bat for the Irish is Nick Duare. Had a solo home run earlier this evening. Now Duare. The 1-0 count from Olenchuk. Result in strike one of the at-bat. Duare hits it to the second baseman. We'll zip it over to first for the third out. Notre Dame remains up. After 3 outs, we move on to the top of the 6th. Notre Dame playing the Clemson Tigers in Frank X Stadium as we head to the top of the 6th inning. As Cooper Engel fouls off the first pitch of the inning.
Seeing Temple continue to work here into the 6th inning. Important to continue his consistency in working that breaking ball, which Clemson has struggled with throughout the game here today.
Temple catches Engel swinging on the second pitch. The 0-2. Deflects off of Engel.
Let's see here. Kind of got 3 variations of a breaking ball you're seeing here from Temple. You got a slider and then 2 kind of different curveballs. Curveball in on the fist there. Hits it off himself. Difficult, but good job here by Temple so far in an 0-2 count. Working quick.
Temple trying to retire Engel quickly. So the count remains 0-2. Fouled off once again. .2020, Temple led the ASUN while he was at Jacksonville with a .71 ERA. For the first out of the inning.
Great job again there by Temple, getting that weak ground ball contact to the right side. Takes care of the first batter here in the inning. We talked about the importance of getting those leadoff batters out. Doing a good job there by Temple.
Blake right now for the Tigers. Six home runs on the season, 11 RBIs, but 0 for 2 this afternoon. As he fouls off, second pitch, evening it at 1.
Temple doing just such a great job of keeping these Clemson hitters uncomfortable at the plate. We talked about it through the game yesterday with John Michael Bertrand. Clemson just does not look comfortable in the batter's box. Doesn't really seem to know what's coming. Temple doing a good job building off of that today.
Wright extends the at-bat. One, two now for Temple. Fouled off.
That one hung up there a little bit on Temple. Didn't get kind of the pull down on that breaking pitch that he wanted. The ones we've seen with a lot of success today, he's really pulled almost off the plate there a little bit, and Clemson has chased.
Hit right up the middle by Wright. Fielded by Myers, and will hold Wright at first.
Much better job there for Clemson in the batter's box. See there, got his foot down and then drove the ball back up the middle. That's how you got to attack that breaking ball. Did a really good job. Nice swing for Clemson to find some success here against Temple. Going to really have to find that, continue looking to do that as he's thrown almost exclusively breaking balls here today.
Here's Max Wagner now trying to capitalize off the right single. Temple now with the 2-0 count.
I see Chuck Restano come out here. Temple's pitch count getting up there a little bit. Got to reset. Really important here. We've talked about any.
But now McClinsky will try to make his mark on this afternoon. Faces against Corbett in the box. First pitch will be fouled off. Corbett went 0 for 4 last night in the first game of the series. Caught swinging on the second pitch.
Good start here from McClinsky. Really important. Got to come out of the bullpen throwing strikes and attacking hitters. There's an opportunity to put him away here.
The third pitch of the at-bat will go outside and make the count 1-2.
Good work there by Nerai behind the plate. Really important. Got to keep that ball in front of you. Allow your pitcher to be comfortable to throw that breaking ball, but also got to work really hard to keep it in front of you, not allow these runners to advance.
On base for the Tigers is Wright at second and Wagner at first, as Corbett fouls off once again.
Klinsky, a much different pitcher than you've seen kind of the two starters here for Notre Dame be this weekend. Going to come at you, be a little more of an attack there out on the mound, coming right at these Clemson hitters.
Low on the fourth pitch. McClinsky had 2 pitches last night in the first game after a 130 pitch performance by Bertrand.
Two-two count here, working, battling some pitches off here at the plate for Clemson. Just got to find a way to get a run in if you're the Tigers. Have really struggled with runners in scoring position, left 9 on base last night. Just got to find that big hit that they haven't had yet this weekend.
The 2-2 gets Corbett swinging, and McClinsky gets his first strikeout.
Nasty slider there from McClinsky, outside part of the plate. Just a great pitch. See Nerai set up on the outside, and that ball looks like it's going to come in as a fastball and just falls off the table. These Clemson hitters have really struggled with the breaking ball this weekend.
McClinsky picking up where Temple left off earlier this game, getting a quick strikeout. Now going against Grice. Who has Wright on second and Wagner at first. Grice last season was a Golden Spikes Award watch list nominee, as he now has a 1-0 count against McClinsky. Count now 3-0 for Grice. Had a single earlier this game. Here's a 3-0 now. Fouled off by Grice.
Got to get right back in the strike zone if you're McClinsky. Talked about the only way Notre Dame's really been hurt today is through walks and hit by pitches. Got to get right back in there and attack this hitter.
Three-one. Called strike. Making it a full count now.
2 outs, runner's going to be moving here. Got to throw the ball across the infield. Big pitch.
McClinsky retires Grice for the 3rd out of the 6th inning. We head to the bottom as Ryan McClinsky comes in, gets 2 quick strikeouts.
Welcome back to South Bend here. As you see, Notre Dame volleyball out supporting the baseball team here today. Show host for Fighting Irish here. Exciting game as we get back. Notre Dame having some success, up 3-0 here today, but great crowd cheering on the Irish even through this tough weather.
The Notre Dame faithful out in full force as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Ty Olenchuk remains on the mound for the Tigers after coming in during the 3rd inning, replacing Nick Hoffman. Right now up to bat for the Irish is Brooks Coetzee. As the first pitch goes Olenchuk's way.
Olenchuk doing a great job out of the bullpen for Clemson. You can see why he's one of the best relievers in college baseball, just having a lot of success at ERA down to 1.29. But a big opportunity here. Leadoff batter's hitting .235 against him. Again, Notre Dame's offense thrives, and that leadoff batter gets on and has an opportunity to put the envelope on the bases. So big spot here for Coetzee.
Coetzee 0 for 2 on the afternoon, but in an important position right now to get a lead hit. Attended Mahomet Seymour High School in Illinois, just a state over. The 1-2 fouled off by Coetzee. That makes it 50 pitches for Olenchuk on this Saturday game. As we are now at a 1-2 count. And Coetzee drilled into left field. That thing is gone. Brooke Coetzee hits a deep shot to make the score 4-0.
Really good swing there by Brooks, and a little different from the other balls we've seen hit the left field today. More of a line drive out into the bushes and left.
Neary trying to slow down the pace a bit. There's the big home run hitter for the Irish. Joins Juera on the day with a home run.
Coetzee, such a good job. Senior leader, being consistent at the plate. Got a great swing on that ball.
Count remains 1-2 for Neary. As Olenchuk now has 55 pitches. Count even at 2s. Fouled off once again into the crowd. Neary extending the battle now at 7 pitches of the at-bat.
Doing a good job fighting up there. You get to that 2-strike count. Just kind of fight things off until you get your pitch that you can hit. Neary doing a good job in the box.
Thought he had the pitch that he wanted. Now full count.
See here on that check swing.
Neary got the pitch that he wanted, gets into the outfield. Right past right for a quick single.
See there, Neary doing a good job driving that ball right back up the middle. Again, we've seen a few Notre Dame hitters. Difficult spot there. Clemson might have thinking they had a strikeout there on the check swing, and then Neary coming right back to the next pitch and driving the ball up the middle.
Neary now 2 for 3 on the afternoon, as Olenchuk will meet with the coach on the mound. Not having the productive inning that he wanted, giving up a home run to Coetzee, and now a single to Neary.
So for Clemson here, giving up 1 run in this inning, chasing 4 as we head to the back half of this game. Really important to keep this deficit where it's at. Chasing much more than 4 runs becomes difficult as the time goes on, and we've seen Notre Dame pitching staff and the bullpen really kind of step up this weekend and the midweek as well, and last weekend at Florida State. So the challenge is not getting any easier as the deeper we get into this game.
Preisner now dribbler. Neary out at second, and now Preisner out at first. So a double play by Clemson gets Neary out at second.
Just what you're looking for if you're Olenchuk on the mound. 1 pitch, double play. Much better situation here now for Clemson.
Some threats eliminated by a double play for the Tigers. Now Spencer Myers up to bat. Leadoff hitter for the Irish, one for 2 on the afternoon. Strike 1 for Olenchuk. Here comes the second pitch. Too low for Myers. Spencer Myers got hit by a pitch at his first at-bat of the evening, then followed it up with a single. Still searching for that first home run of the season. Count now 2-1 for Myers. Quick dribbler out to right, but that will be the 3rd out of the inning. But Irish are now up 4-0 at the hands of Brooks Coetzee.
Great swing here by Coetzee. Drove that ball out of here, extending this Notre Dame lead. Power coming from Notre Dame, 2 home runs on the day, now leading 4-0.
Irish lead 4-0. Coetzee leaving no questions. The sun is out in South Bend, Indiana, and so are the hitters as the Irish lead the Clemson Tigers 4-0 at the hands of a Brooks Coetzee home run. Now on the mound for the Irish is Ryan McClinsky.
Big spot here for Notre Dame. Extended that lead up 4-0 now as you head to the back half of this ball game. Just kind of got to settle things in, let the bullpen do its work.
High fly ball, tracked down by Coetzee. As we have a 1 pitch, 1 out. Now up to bat for the Tigers.
Good job working quick out there on the mound for McClinsky. Important here, just let your defense work quick. Doing a good job of continuing to keep this Clemson lineup off balance. They have not seemed comfortable in the box all weekend.
French hacks into the same spot as Hawkins. Coetzee tracks down his 2nd out of the inning. 2 pitches, 2 outs for McClinsky.
having to fight the sun a little bit now as we've hit the third or fourth season we've seen in South Bend today as the sun starts to come out. But good job here again. McClinsky doing a great job working quick, attacking hitters.
Very different from what we saw earlier today with some snow mix in April. McClinsky now with the 0-1. Hit by Brewer. And tracked down.
Brannigan, strong year, one of the best infielders in college baseball.
Brannigan bunts out foul on the first pitch of the at-bat.
Brannigan, someone too who can come in and pitch. High 90s from the right side, comes in, has played in the closer role a little bit for Notre Dame this year as well.
Tied for second on the team with 4 home runs on the season, as the count is 0-1 for him. Olenchuk now at 64 pitches on the afternoon. The 0-1 here. Too low. Brings the count to 1-1.
Olenchuk done a great job today outside of the 1 home run. Has been really strong on the mound in his relief appearance, now at 3 1/3. Giving up just the 1 run, 4 hits, but has scattered those.
Brannigan, swing and a miss, makes it strike 2.
Sure, Notre Dame continuing to look to try to extend this lead. Bullpen has really come around for the Irish in the last couple weeks, but it has had some struggles throughout the season. Really important to extend the lead, give yourself as much of a comfort room as possible.
High and away. Jared Miller in the on-deck circle for the Irish, as Brannigan fouls off. The 2-2 pitch from Olenchuk. High once again, making it a full count.
Brannigan doing a good job working the count here. Olenchuk probably getting to the end of his line out of his relief in the bullpen. But a good at bat here so far for Brannigan.
Full count for Brannigan, who will walk to first base and bring up Jared Miller. Mentioned it earlier, Ty Olenchuk came in earlier this afternoon in the 3rd inning to relieve Nick Hoffman of his duties. Now has approached 70 pitches on the evening. Here's Jared Miller now, who hits a drive into left field. That will take a bounce in front of Engel, but will bring the runner to second.
Good job there by Miller, taking the ball the other way. Sees the pitch in the outside part of the plate and just drives it there. Now Notre Dame has runners at first and second with nobody out. Again, Carter Putz coming on with the runners in scoring position.
Brannigan advances to second with Miller on first. Now Putz is at bat, 2 for 3 on the afternoon, as he fouls off the first pitch. So no outs for Olenchuk and the Clemson defense, but 2 runners for the Irish.
Clemson really letting Olenchuk work here, putting a lot of trust in their pitcher. He's had a ton of success today, but a big spot here with no outs and 2 on.
Putz thought about it for a second, but will be called a strike. Putz had a big 2 RBI single to extend the Irish lead earlier this game. The 0-2 pitch from Olenchuk goes outside.
Good job by Putz here. Got to work the count now. Got to that 2-strike count. Got to find what your pitch is and fight off whatever it isn't. Does such a good job of using the full field and driving the baseball.
That was the pitch that Putz wanted. Deep drive into right field, and that thing is gone. Carter Putz extending this Irish lead to make it now 7-0.
See there, 1-2 count, hanging breaking ball over the middle of the plate. Putz drives the ball to right field, and we've seen balls kind of fly that way a ton today so far. We'll see the replay here, but just a hanging breaking ball over the middle of the plate. And Putz stays compact, keeps that shoulder tucked, really drives the ball the other way. He has full field power there. Just hangs it there on the mound by Olenchuk, and that ball is way out of here.
Ryan Cole ranked 3rd on the team in batting average. As the Irish have collected 7 runs to Clemson 0. The 1-1 fouled off by Cole.
Notre Dame just so impressive at the plate today. Their offense has looked great, kind of getting into stride. Has been in really control of this game throughout.
Cole strikes out for Talent's first at-bat of the evening. Quick strikeout for Talent.
So you'll see here, little breaking ball there, breaks over the middle of the plate. Gets Cole swinging. It's the first out of the inning here. Got a pinch hitter for Notre Dame.
Pinch hitter is Joey Spence, freshman out of Wisconsin. He has 9 at-bats on the season. Has 1 run scored. Has 1 start on the season. First pitch of his at-bat is a ball. Here's the second pitch for Spence. Gets him on a swing and a miss.
Good pitch there from Talent. Looked good since he's come in here. Really important for Clemson to find someone to kind of stop the bleeding.
Joey Spence was the top-ranked catcher in Wisconsin coming out of high school. Swing and a miss again, makes the count even at 2s. Swing and miss again, and a quick second strikeout for Casey Talent.
Good job there by Talent coming in, trying to build a little momentum from Clemson after Notre Dame has had complete control of this game.
Now up to bat for the Irish is Brooks Coetzee. Had a home run in his last at-bat. Now working against a different pitcher in Talent. Second pitch goes Talent's way. Coetzee 1 for 3 on the afternoon. gets the pitch he wanted as a line drive down the left field line. Will be zipped across to first base for a quick 3 outs. And Casey Talent, the pitcher for the Tigers, gets 3 up, 3 down.
In South Bend, you see the golden helmets of Notre Dame. The weather changing here. One of the best uniforms in college baseball here. Notre Dame has complete control of this game, leading Clemson 7-0. Big opportunity here. Ryan McClinsky continuing on the mound, trying to build the momentum. And you see there, everyone having the gold helmets surrounded by Notre Dame.
It looks clean out with this sun. Now Benjamin Blackwell up to bat for the Tigers as we enter the 8th inning. Klinsky's first pitch ruled a strike.
We talked about again in the open the importance of Blackwell and Engel at the top of this Clemson lineup to have some success today for Clemson and kind of get momentum going. So far today, they are 1 for 6 with a double and 3 strikeouts. So again, struggling at the top of this lineup, kind of the table setters for Clemson. So important for them to get going, and if they want to get back in this game, got to find some success at the top too.
Blackwell making contact on the 3rd pitch, ultimately fouling out. Ryan McClinsky now up to 20 pitches in his appearance on the mound. His next pitch is just outside, evening the count at 2.
McClinsky done a good job so far. 1 2/3 inning, 2 strikeouts. You see Jackson Denny's getting warm in the bullpen.
Blackwell's hit down the 3rd base line was a quick dribbler for a quick out right to Carter Putz at first.
Good job there by Brannigan attacking that ground ball. You see one of the best third basemen in college baseball. Brannigan does a great job of being aggressive when the ball's hit, coming and attack it, getting the hop that he wants, and makes strong throws across the field. Very athletic, can kind of make that throw on the run. One of the best infielders in college baseball.
He's had a couple outs defensively today as Engel drills one right into the outfield for a single.
See there, Notre Dame had the shift on a little bit. Second baseman playing more in the hole over there as Miller and Preisner moved a little up towards the middle. Shift causes that ball to slip through there, but still really good job here by McClinsky. Clemson trying to build some kind of momentum here in the 8th inning.
Blake right now up to bat. Looking to claw back into this one as the first pitch of the at-bat is a swing and a miss. The 0-1 pitch from McClinsky. Right down the middle, making it 0-2 for Wright.
Looking for a ground ball here if you're Notre Dame, trying to get a double play to get out of this inning, continue that momentum that you've got. Incomplete control here. McClinsky looking strong on the mound.
One, two now for Wright. Wright gets a solid piece of contact right past Preisner. And now Engel advances to second.
Clemson building a little momentum here. Got runners at first and second with 1 out now after that hit. Going to be really important. You got to find a way to get a run in. They still haven't this weekend found a way to drive in a runner effectively. Trailing by 7 here in the 8th inning. Got to find a way to get a run, cut into this lead a little bit.
Trying to help Clemson in their efforts back into at least a tie. Down 7-0 against the Notre Dame Irish. High fly ball will be tracked down by Jared Miller. Coming over from his post by second base. Now 2 down for McClinsky.
2 outs now, and Clemson now 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position and just 2 for 11 with runners on base. Really struggling to find that clutch hitter, to find someone to drive a run in here. So Notre Dame pitchers have really stepped up when Clemson has had runners in scoring position.
Camden Troyer now pinch hitting for the Tigers. Has 9 at-bats on the season with 1 hit, bringing in 3 runs. Looks to keep that going today, as he has runners on second and first. Just outside for Troyer. Here's the 1-0 pitch from McClinsky. Gets Troyer on a swing and a miss, making the count 1-1. You see Camden Troyer there. 4 RBIs on the season and only 9 at-bats. The 1-1. Bounces off of Nerai at catcher. And runners advance to second and third.
Tough one there. That ball got away from Nerai, almost rolling into the dugout there. Breaking ball down in the dirt. You'll see it again here. Ball just slips and Nerai can't find it there for a second, but now runners at second and third with 2 outs, and another big spot here for Clemson. You see pitching coach Chuck Ristano going to come out and have a conversation with McClinsky.
McClinsky now not in a situation he thought he'd be in, as he has runners on second and third. Engel was almost waved home on the last wild pitch.
Big spot here. Got Jackson Denny's getting warm in the bullpen, but Notre Dame has this opportunity to kind of put their foot down in this rally from Clemson here, and Clemson just has to find someone to have that big hit. Got to find someone to drive a run in. As we said, 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position so far today. Someone has to step up for this Clemson lineup and drive a runner in.
Camden Troyer holds a lot of power in his hands as the batter for the Tigers. Looking to bring in the 2 runners, as Colin mentioned. McClinsky now right down the middle, making the count 1-2. The 2-2, swing and a miss. The Irish 2 for 3 on the afternoon. He's someone that Clemson doesn't want at bat, as they try to slow down the bleeding. First pitch goes for Labriola. Now count even at 1-1 for Danny Nerai. Nerai up to bat for the Irish, but in the on-deck circle is Zach Preisner. As we now have the 4th pitch of the at-bat, is hit by Danny Nerai a skyrocket into right field, and that thing is gone. Danny Neary continues his hitting streak today. Irish up 8-0.
What a swing there by Danny Neary, driving that ball out to right field. We've talked about it all day, the wind blowing out that way. Having success pulling the ball there, and Neary got a great swing on that one. Clemson right fielder there didn't even move. Let's see here, Neary staying compact at the plate, wide stance. Does a good job to get the barrel out in front there, and he knew that ball was gone as soon as he hit it.
So now the Irish have 4 different home run hitters on the afternoon as they lead Clemson 8-0. Preisner gets it right past right. He will be brought to the first base.
Notre Dame's offense just continues to roll, seeing the ball so well right now, having a lot of success. We've seen today their success has come with shooting the ball to right field, whether it be pulling it or pushing it that way. We've also seen them drive the ball right back up the middle. Notre Dame's approach at the plate is just so strong right now, really overpowering Clemson.
Irish off to a quick bottom of the 8th inning after a home run from Danny Neary, and now a hit from Preisner into the same spot, but a diving catch and a flip to second as Preisner is out. Great play by Blake Wright, making the save and tossing it to second.
Wright showing some really good movement there at second base, was positioned a little farther up middle than normal. Does a great job of laying out for that one, and then the flip there, being under control and getting it to the second base bag is a good toss there. Really good defensive play.
Great effort by Blake Wright to give the Tigers their first out of the bottom of the 8th. Spencer Myers now on base for the Irish as Jack Brannigan now takes his shot at Labriola. Pitch outside, makes it a 1-0 count for Brannigan. Two consecutive balls for Labriola. Brannigan gets a solid hit to right field, but will be tracked down by the right fielder, making it 2 outs now.
Good job by Brannigan. Got a good piece to the opposite field. Ball just didn't carry enough. Now Clemson 2 outs here, trying to escape this 8th inning with only 1 run allowed.
Jared Miller now hitting for the Irish, 1 for 3 this afternoon. Labriola just 9 pitches into his afternoon, as the 10th one is a low roller. Jared Miller averaging about 267 on the year with an on-base percentage of 367. Strike 1 of the at-bat from Labriola.
This Notre Dame offense, just so much success today. We've seen it all from small ball to driving the ball to the opposite field and hitting the ball out of the ballpark. Just a complete performance by this team.
Third pitch tipped off, making the count 1-2. Irish up a big 8-0 against the Clemson Tigers.
If you're Clemson, you got to find some way to build some momentum in the last inning here. Try to do something in the top of the ninth and build something going into tomorrow. Try to salvage this series. Can really tell. It's a young lineup for Clemson. Has some opportunities to be really good, but as they advance and continue through this season, need to get a little more discipline, and we'll see facing pitchers like Bertrand and Temple got to find a way to be calm at the plate and drive the ball the other way.
Count remains 2-2 for Miller. Clemson currently ranked 6th in the ACC Atlantic standings. This weekend being a big opportunity to improve that. Jared Miller, a soft hit to the second baseman, but Wright, indecisive with the ball, allows Myers to advance to second.
Miller gets jammed on this pitch here. Hits it in a little of a triangle ball spot with the second baseman shaded up the middle there, unable to make a play. Looks back at second base to see if he can catch Myers taking too big of a round there at second, but unable to. And now Notre Dame has runners at first and second with 2 outs. And again, here comes Carter Putz, another opportunity to drive runs in.
French and Labriola will discuss on the mound as Putz awaits the first pitch. On the day, Putz has 1 home run with 5 RBIs, 3 hits, and 4 at-bats. But a larger discussion will happen on the mound for the Tigers. Clemson making another pitching change on the mound as they are down 8-0 against the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. There is touchdown Jesus on the beautiful campus of Notre Dame, but after today and Notre Dame's high-scoring offensive attack, he might as well be called home run Jesus. And now for the Tigers, their 5th pitcher of the day is Austin Gordon.
See here, Gordon, 8 1/3 inning on the year, 2.16 ERA, 6 strikeouts to 4 walks, and got runners at first and second here for Notre Dame. Got to find some way to stop it. Notre Dame's best hitter stepping in the box with Carter Putz, but huge spot here. Notre Dame with that 8-run lead, and someone from Clemson's got to find a way to step up and stop the issues that they've had on the mound today.
A freshman from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina will look to stop the bleeding that the Irish have inflicted. As Carter Putz awaits the first pitch of Austin Gordon's night. Number 11, Jack Penny, will be a pinch runner on first base, as Notre Dame has a runner on both first and second base. And a big day for Carter Putz, 3 for 4. As you see there, 2 singles, a 3-run home run, bringing in 5 RBIs. Putz has a strong foul off.
O2 count here, even leading 8-0. A good opportunity to work your 2-strike approach at the plate, find a way to drive a run in. Notre Dame in comparison with Clemson today. Clemson, as we talked about, 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Notre Dame 3 for 6. Have the ability to drive runners in here, and with runners on, 6 for 16 so far. So having some success with runners on base. We talked about the pressure that the Notre Dame lineup can cause when there's runners on base and what it does to a pitching staff and opposing defense. So big spot here.
Runners on base for the Irish are Spencer Myers and Jack Penny, as Gordon now is faced with a 1-2 count. Last season, Putz was tied for first on the team with 57 hits.
Really good job there by Putz. That breaking ball, not really going to be able to do much with that. So you just got to find a way to foul it off and fight to get to the next pitch. We saw early with Clemson facing Austin Temple, unable to do that, and a lot of strikeouts kind of built up there. Really good job by Putz, just seeing that pitch and fouling it off.
Fouled off once again, keeps the count at 1-2. As Putz looks to advance Myers and Penny. But 2 outs now for the Tigers. The 1-2 pitch, high, given the second ball of the at-bat.
Putz just looks so comfortable in the box. His ability to know what he's looking for. Got a great eye. And ability to really fight pitches off as well. If it's not what he's looking for, does a really good job to just keep fighting until he gets what he needs.
Strike 3 of the at. As he looks to close out this Saturday game. Denny's first pitch right down the middle for a strike. Denny's had 3 appearances out of the bullpen last season. And this season, 1 run and 6 hits allowed in just 8.2 innings pitched. Caden Grice, inversely, 1 for 2 on the day. The 0-1 pitch from Denny's will even the count at 1. And a close call will be a ball, the second of the at-bat. Now even at 2s. Will extend the at-bat.
Good job here by Denny's attacking the hitter. When you've got an 8-0 lead here in the 9th, worst thing you can do is walk a batter, hit a batter, give someone a free pass. Got to really attack hitters, let your defense work behind you. Don't start to compound mistakes here. Really important. Just let the defense work, attack the strike zone.
Defense has made a big shift towards first base to combat Grice. As you can see there, all in an attempt to stop Grice's attack, and hits it right to the second baseman, but a wild throw allows Grice to get a single.
See there, that can be difficult. You've got your shortstop Preisner shifted to the right side of second base, so out of position from where he's normally throwing from. Comes up, makes a good clean play on that. Just got to make the throw over there to first base. difficult. Being out of position with that shift, had them shifted in the correct position, ready to go, but got to make that throw there. Now really important here, and runner at first base can't compound mistakes on top of each other, especially with this large lead. Got to go right back and attack the hitter looking for another ground ball if you're Denny's.
Denny's will go against David Lewis, making his first appearance of the game, as he hits a monster fly ball out of the stadium. On first for Lewis, who only has 4 at-bats on the season. His one hit was a double, as he fouls off the second pitch of the at-bat.
Good job here by Denny's, bouncing back, getting those 2 quick strikes. Can't let a mistake behind you affect you as a pitcher. Got to continue to attack and really go after these hitters.
Third pitch will be ruled a ball. And Denny's does just that and retires David Lewis for his first strikeout of the afternoon.
Good job there by Denny's, not allowing the air to affect him behind him. See pitch down and away there, unable to get a piece of it. Now got 1 out. Notre Dame chasing 2 outs here to close this one down and win a series.
They took game 1 last night. Denny's first pitch, right down the middle for a strike. Jonathan French at bat for the Tigers. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Batting about .211 on the season. He was hit by a pitch earlier this game, but other than that has not found much success in the batter's box. 2-1 count now for Denny's. Irish just 2 outs away from closing out the Saturday game of the series. The 2-1 pitch. Ruled a ball, and that will send French to first base and Grice to second.
Got to bounce back right here for Denny's. Can't have a walk here in the 9th inning with this big lead. Now looking for a ground ball. Got some room to work with here, but really got to attack hitters coming in this situation. Let it all go and be right in and around the strike zone.
Chad Ferry now. Has an average of .194 in his career. From Greenwood, South Carolina. One home run on the season. Ferry goes down
That one hurts. You see it in slow motion here in the replay. That one hurts. Right off his knee there. Can't feel good.
Ferry will remain in the box for the Tigers. He will return to this 1-1 count. Pitch from Denny's.
One and two count here. Big pitch coming from Denny's. Looking for that ground ball or strikeout.
Denny's up 1-2. Now makes the count 2-2. Fouled off by Ferry. Extending his battle against Denny's. Trying to give the Tigers a little bit of life, as he has Grice on second and French on first. Full count now for Ferry. Full count pitch by Denny's will end up in ball 4, as now bases are loaded for the Tigers. Clemson's showing a little bit of life here, down 8 at the top of the 9th inning. And as you see there, Burkholz warming up in the bullpen. Benjamin Blackwell now, leadoff hitter for the Tigers. Looks to bring in some runs, gaining some momentum. The 1-0 from Denny's. High, making it 2-1, 2-0. Blackwell transferred from Dayton, hit 309 there as a flyer. Denny's high pitch makes it 3-0 on the count.
If you're Denny's here, just got to step off the back of the mound, take a deep breath, refocus. Got an 8-run lead here, just looking for a ground ball. Got to get the ball in the strike zone.
Denny's gets his first strike of the at-bat, making it 3-1. Here's a 3-1 right down the middle, making it a full count.
Good bounce back here from Denny's. Big pitch coming up. Just got to throw strikes, be in the strike zone.
Full count for Blackwell here. Hit into right field, caught by Coetzee, who will throw it down to second base, but 1 run is scored for Clemson.
Clemson finally drives that first run.
Denny's.
See there, 6 1/3 innings on the year, 4.26 ERA. Really important here. Got 1 out to get runners at first and second. Just got to be in and around the strike zone. We saw Denny struggle a little bit with some walks and missing the strike zone, but got to be in there just looking for a ground ball, trying to find a way to close this one out.
Up to bat for the Tigers is Cooper Engel. Trying to give Clemson some extra life after scoring their first run of the game just now. Early 0-1 count for Burkholz. The 0-1 pitch. Rule the ball. Engel 1 single on the day. As he fouls off, bringing the count to 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Now evens the count at 2. Fifth pitch of Radek's night will result in an easy out at first.